There, guys, it's Mia here. I am so excited. As always, I'm so excited about this quick live tonight. And the title of the live is simply How Smart Women Leave Thousands of Dollars on the Table. How smart women are leaving thousands of dollars on the table. I'm going to explain it to you. I've got five points that I wrote down that I'm going to share with you for my note card. And my only goal is to support you with seeing if you are leaving dollars on the table. And if you are, what you can do to change that. Now, the inspiration for this live today is literally this week in one of my private advisory sessions with my client. She is a medical professional who wanted to take her background as a therapist and package what she was doing into a consulting offering. And we did exactly that. And she closed her first corporate contract for $65,000. So pretty big deal. And there are five things that she did that I realized that there are times when women come to me that they didn't do these things. And as a result, there was no cash in the cash register, right? As a result, there were no clients, no leads, no sales. So I'm going to break this down for you. Now, this live is going to be for you if you are looking to grow your consulting, coaching, training, licensing business, if you're a speaker or you're a coach, and you're trying to figure out how to level up your profits. You're in the right place today. I'm going to share with you simply the five things that I know is true. I've coached hundreds of women personally, 700 plus personally over the last 26 years, and thousands of women have used my systems to learn how to package what they do properly to be able to monetize with the right models that give them greater freedom and greater profitability. Now, one thing that I know about women is that they believe they have to be twice as good, have to work twice as hard. They're overworked, and they overfunction. And I know that's probably you. And if you're directly in front of a client right now, you're giving them every single thing you have. And the challenge isn't that what you're delivering to the client, that isn't working. That part is working. The problem is that on the other side, in terms of reciprocity, you can't sustain that level of giving. When you look at your model, your business model is probably non-existent, it's probably not kind to you, and it also probably requires a certain level of courage for you that you haven't yet decided to be bold enough to step into. So we're going to talk about today how smart women are leaving thousands of dollars on the table. And as a result of you listening to this live today, I am definitely going to shake your shoulders. It is for sure a tough live. And my goal is to support those of you who want to do more than hear, those of you who want to take an action that will affect the change that you desire, right? So let me make sure everyone can hear me here. And I want to share this live because this is going to be a good one. Now, do me a favor and share this live with a friend, someone that you care about, that's a coach, that's a consultant, that's a trainer, that wants to build a profitable business, leveraging their intellect. Share it with them. And my goal here is to support other women in understanding that and knowing that it is possible to be profitable in business. And a lot of times it just boils down to these five things that I'm going to share with you today. And I'm going to share this in a minute. And then I'm going to jump right in. Here we go. Okay, so here's the thing. I want you to think about your business currently right now. I want you to think about the goals that you have for yourself in your business right now. And I want you to think about the gap. I want you to think about where would you like to be 1 year from now? What would you like to be earning? Would you like to be at six figures? Not talking about what you're earning in your salary, but in your company. Would you like to add another six figures? Would you like to double your revenue? Okay, you can write it here, even if you're watching the replay. What would you like to see 1 year from now? And then ask yourself, what is getting in the way right now? Like, why are you not where you want to be? And the reason I'm asking you this up front, because what I'm going to share with you, and as I share the story of my client who just closed her first $65,000 deal, brand new coach, brand new consultant, okay, just put together her package and was able to monetize at a very high level quickly. I want you to be able to look at what it is that you want to do and the question around what do you think is in the way and see if it's any of these five things. All right. So are we clear? Okay. If we're clear, right, I'm clear, even if you're watching this replay. Okay. So I wanted to do this live specifically because often women think that monetizing in their business is a lot harder than it is. But the reason that they think it's hard or they believe that they're stuck is most often because of these things. So let me share number one with you. How are smart women leaving thousands of dollars on the table? Number one is what I call justification. Okay. So they justify where they are and they justify what they're doing. So let me go deeper on this. All right. And you probably are doing this. They justify where they are. Like if they are selling something for $9.97, they justify it, right? If they're beta testing something, they justify it. So they don't have the profits, they're not hitting their goals, but they justify the activity. If they've built a course, right, they say, I'm working on a course, I've got all of these things, and and I just want to finish doing what I'm doing, because we justify the thing we don't want to face. Somebody write, we justify what we don't want to face. But the reality is that while you're justifying what you don't want to face, there is your competitor, and your competitor is getting clarity around the thing that they want to do, the person, the version that they want to become, and they have made full commitment with themselves to be a partner to make that thing happen. The reason that people hit their goals, it's not an accident. It's not that you wake up one day and, and it just happens. It's a decision. And a lot of times we don't realize that the business stays exactly where it is year after year, 5 years, 10 years, because we haven't yet made a decision to be successful. We haven't made a decision to be committed in the business. We are still in a place where we are justifying being an average, justifying not selling. I want you to think about this. If you're the person selling in your company, what did you sell over the last 30 days? And if you hired someone to do sales in your company and they sold what you sold, would you fire them? Okay, that's a great question. And the reason that you're leaving thousands of dollars on the table is because of the justification. It means that the standard that you have is low. If you want to change your life, you want to change your business, you have to change your standards. That means you change the way that you show up in business. So I wrote, you justify where you are, you justify what you're doing and how you do what you do. In some way, we believe the stories. I wanted to say the BS stories that we tell ourselves, right, about what we're doing and how productive we're being. When in reality, you've been working on the same thing for the last 3 months or 6 months. And in reality, if you keep going at the rate that you're going, you're not going to monetize with the way that you're doing things. Does that make sense? I have a lot of clients who love to do the creative parts of the business, because selling, you have to face rejection, right? Anyone can create, right? But creating with yourself isn't proof of concept. It's literally taking that idea and then taking it to market and then having conversations with others and learning how to sell and close and learning how to become a person that can handle overcoming objections and becoming a better version of yourself so that your ideal clients come forward. And often we justify so we don't have to face the version of ourselves that represents change. And that's just the whole nugget. Number two, okay? We're talking today about how smart women leave thousands of dollars on the table. And the very first thing that I wrote down my note card is justification. The second thing that we do, oh my goodness, is modification. Okay, I was into the occasions today. So the modification, what did I mean by that? That means that we keep tweaking and tweaking and tweaking. But you got to understand what we're doing, right? You got to understand when you keep tweaking, tweaking isn't a strategy, okay? It's not a strategy for success. So I have clients who over the years, they will work on the same thing over and over and over again unless you stop them and say, when are we launching? Okay, they just want to change something, change the color of something. change the language of something. And again, it's this idea of being busy but not productive, right? It's the idea of planting but not having any fruit. And when we're in that stage of number one, justification, right? And we get to that place of modification, it's the reason why we keep changing things because we can justify, like, it's okay not to sell. When I work with women who sell and close at a very high level, and those women, they are not about that. They're not justifying behaviors or practicing becoming something that doesn't serve their highest good. They are practicing the things that I have helped them with to be able to stand in their value, to be able to have strategic sales conversations, to be able to close their clients. They're about that. They are not in a place where they have an offer and they just keep shining it up, keep changing it. The moment that one person says no, they modify that offer once again. And I say it to you this way because maybe you've never thought about your modifications being the reason that you're not bringing in thousands of dollars, that you're leaving money on the table. And I promise you, it is. There are people who go to market with good enough. And it means that what they have might be at 85%, it might be at 75%. And they go to market, they know they can deliver amazing value to their clients. And along the way, they make changes, but they do it not by stopping, right, and making everything perfect. They do it, they launch. And if you're that person that you're not launching or you've been trying to build something for the longest time, you need some support. You need accountability that will hold you to the fire to do the thing that you don't want to do. Number three, the third thing that I want to share here of how smart women are leaving thousands of dollars on the table is duplication. Now, this thing is a whole thing. And I could talk about it all day. I call it creative duplication. And all it really is that it's like not being creative. The reality is that you see what someone else is doing and you want to be likeness to that thing. You're like, that's what I do. And now, because of using AI, so many people don't know what they're doing because AI says, hey, this is who you are. This is your brand identity. This is your avatar. This is your voice. This is your customer. And in reality, you have all of these years of experience. And the one thing you're not doing is thinking about who you are and what you bring. See, chat is going to be your friend. Chat's going to tell you anything you want to hear. And as many questions as you have, there are as many answers as you need. One of the things that's very important is understanding who you are, what you do, and who you serve. And not being a smaller version of yourself, but thinking the answer about who you are and what you're meant to do is outside of you. Okay. And it's one of the things that I'm really great at is helping my clients build a business where it's authentically based on their expertise, their experience. Okay. I promise you that. And I know that today, when you're listening to people online, most of these people aren't even talking to you directly because they've got a whole script that chat's told them what to say. Okay. So the reality is that if you're just willing to show up as yourself, be authentic, share what you know, it's going to resonate with your clients. Your ideal clients are going to see that you're real. They're going to trust you more. I promise you, that's just the reality of how things go. It's cute. Change is cute in the beginning. But over time, when you keep reading content or reading curriculum or reading somebody's script that was written for you and it's not from your heart, your ideal clients aren't there and you're leaving thousands of dollars on the table. You're better off learning how not to be a smaller version of yourself, but how to show up like the giant that you are. And when you do that, your ideal clients come to you. I promise you, every single day, either I get a referral or a past client reaches out, or someone new sees something that I've written, because it's me. I'm just sharing who I am, what I do, and who I serve. And I stand on the level of results that I create for my clients. The fourth thing is complication. So complication is one of the ways that smart women are leaving thousands of dollars on the table. And let me tell you what it looks like. Like a lot of times when I look into a side of someone's business, by the time they come to me, some of these women have already started marketing in the business and it's not working. or they've built a product and it's not working. They've made all of these complicated systems that the thing they believe they're supposed to do, the funnel they believe they're supposed to build, the call to action, the sales process, and all of it is broken. The reality is that the greatest success is simple. I promise you. And sometimes we're too close to what we do and our own brilliance to know how to make what we do really sing. And that's where mentorship and coaching comes in. It's really important. So we make things harder than they need to be. We think we need to build fancy websites. We think that it's the only way to sell things. Think we need landing pages, tons of automations. And the reality is that while some of those things do work tremendously, I have clients all the time who sell and close who haven't built any of those things, but they have a clear understanding around the highest level of value that they bring their clients, and they know how to package that into a premium product. Complication, what does it look like? It means your marketing strategy. You're shooting a million videos, but you have no conversions. You have no appointments. It's complicated. What you're doing is you're making what you're doing harder. And a lot of times we think that more is more, right? Like more is going to attract more. But I promise you that less is more. And I just want to invite you to that level of thinking because it'll make all the difference for you. Today, what I've shared is how smart women are leaving thousands of dollars on the table. And so I wanted to share with you these 5 things. I've covered 4 so far. And the first is number 1, justification. Now, we justify where we are. Well, it's okay. I wanted to have a 20K month, but I made 1,500 this month. But I made something. Justification, right? Or your product isn't selling, or you go live and no one is signing up for your appointments or whatever your call to action is, and you justify it instead of recognizing that there is a serious problem. And the reason that you're keeping thousands on the table is because you justify the thing that you can't quantify. Okay. Number 2, modification. Modification means when you just keep changing what you're doing over and over and over again. You don't know what you're doing, but you talk to somebody on a strategy call and you're like, oh, I'm going to say it like that. Or you glean this one little tip from a free session and you're like, oh, I'm going to just do this. And when we have that level of mindset, that is just not operating from the tallest and highest strategy. My clients that create the greatest results, I meet with them, we do private advisement or we do some type of group advisement, that whatever fits them. And then based on that, we construct what will help them be able to monetize what they do and what they know as quickly as possible, them being their authentic selves. They're not trying to build in perfection, and they're not trying to build by themselves something that they don't have expertise in. Number 3, duplication. Duplication, as I mentioned, is when we become creative duplicators. We think we are being creative, but really what we're doing is copying what someone else is doing. And I always say this to my clients: listen, if you copy someone else's prices that has likeness to what you do, and you don't know why those prices are the prices, that means that if you don't know, if they don't know their value is assigned to you. You actually need to know why your prices are the prices. And if you don't know that, that's where investment is really important, so you can learn those things. Number 4, evaluation, right? And oh no, number 4 is complication. Sorry. Complication. And the complication is making things just crazy difficult, more difficult than they need to be. And you do that so that you don't have to deal with the parts of the business that you don't want to deal with. Okay. It's just flat true. I was talking to someone recently who said to me they wanted to hit over 6 figures in a year. And then when it was time for that person to make a decision to work with me, and she was like, love this, love working with you. And she said, well, I'll get started in 4 months. So here's the reality. She said, hey, everything you have here, everything that you said here, the way you diagnosed me in my business, helped me understand how I'm not monetizing, what I'm not doing in the business, is spot on. You nailed it. This is exactly where I am. But because she doesn't have any priority or urgency around monetizing, she's fine. I'll get started in 4 months. I want you to think about this for a minute and think about yourself. If I said I wanted to lose weight, I wanted to be healthier, be healthier and more fit, but I said I'm not going to start for 4 months. Is that real? It's not. And one of the reasons that people are leaving thousands of dollars on the table is because they don't prioritize their success. It just doesn't happen. And then number 5 is evaluation. Now, this one is one of my favorites that I wrote down, and that's not giving yourself what you need first. Not giving yourself what you need first, right? So, what does that look like? That looks like often we know that we need help. You know that you need support. And if you're here, you're listening because, like, you have a business that you want to earn thousands of dollars more in, right? So that's why you're here. And you know that you need support. But instead of investing in the support you need, at times what happens is people invest in things that they don't need. So they will invest in something that's not the full solution for them. They will invest in their time by going and spend 3 days in something that's $97 that was never meant to give you the attention and the mentorship and the plan to be able to implement and grow. You know, my clients create significant results. And the reason they create significant results is because when I make a recommendation to them based on diagnosing where they are in their business, it's that recommendation isn't just any course or curriculum. It's based on what I know they need in order for them to be able to hit their goals, double their revenue, or to hit 6 figures in the course of 6 months. They have to be ready. Like, they have to be ready to do the work. They have to be investment ready. And so when I say, being able to evaluate what you need, be able to evaluate what you need and give yourself what you need without all of the excuses, without hiding, without being avoidant, being that girl that can show up for herself in that way. And it's a completely different mindset, So I'll share the client that just closed 65 grand. The reality is she came to one of my Get Clear sessions, just met me. She's a therapist. We started working together. We've had 2 sessions together, and she hired me for private consulting because that's what her schedule would allow. She couldn't make my group coaching program times. So we started working together. We're working together one-to-one. We build out her packages. She goes to market. She implements what I say. She closes 65 grand without compromise. She leaned into what she needed. Now, look, she just met me from a strategy session, but she also had seen hundreds of testimonials of what it is that I wanted, and she chose powerfully for herself the first time. Those are the kind of people that get it done, not the people that watch or, I asked her, have you done any of the free classes? She was like, no, I saw the results that she created, and that's why I want to work with you. I want to do this as fast as possible. Now think about you. Are you that person that you want results, but you're fine waiting 6 months to be able to hit your goal? You have no priority around monetization. Hear me on this and hear me from my heart. And there's no judgment around it. But I think if there's 1 or 2 individuals that hear what I'm sharing, and as a result of you hearing this, it helps you to say, I'm not choosing powerfully for myself. I'm actually not making decisions to move myself in the direction of where I want to be. If you think about who you're becoming and you make a decision based on who you're becoming, what would you choose for yourself? If you thought 1 year from now you want to be at $250,000 and you were making investments as a person that already earned $250,000, what kind of investment would you make? That's what you actually need to do now. That's the mindset of people who win. And unfortunately, it's just one of those things that when you want the best and you know that you're the best, you got to invest in the best so you can get the kind of return that you want. And I meet so many people who have spent years and months in classes and certifications around things that felt good, but it wasn't the right fit for them to create the result that they needed, right? And if you're that person and you're willing to show up, time is the asset. It's like the only thing you can't get back. So that's what I wanted to share with you today for my note card. Okay. I wrote down 5 things that I believe smart women are leaving, how they're leaving thousands of dollars on the table. And Maybe you're doing some of these things. And if you are, I hope that this has supported you in some way. If I can be of support to you, I would love for you to follow the link that I've just posted here and book a call. We call it a clarity call. It's a 15-minute call where we'll get clear on what the bottleneck is for you, or what the opportunity looks like for you to package what you do as a high value product. It is literally for the person that wants it. You're in a place where you can say yes to yourself. You are ready to step into the next version of the dream that you have. And your purpose, I always say this, it isn't for you. Your purpose is only good when you get to share it with others. And so if you're in that place, this is absolutely for you. I hope that in some way this has supported you and your mindset in being the highest level version of yourself. I'm Mia Redrick, business consultant and advisor, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity to share this with you. And if this has supported you in some way, share it with a friend. Even if you share it via email, or if you share it and invite them to the page, I'd appreciate it. All right, talk to you soon. Have a great and amazing rest of your night. Good night.
I have been working with Mia Redrick for a couple of months now. I come to this experience with a lot of education. She was speaking my language from day one. What has changed for me is with all of the education, with all of the training and workshops and private coaching and things that I've had, what I didn't have was a real understanding on how I could package these things, price them, and promote them so that I could monetize what it is that I do and what it is that I wanted to do. And now with Mia, I have an understanding of how to take my tangible and intangible gifts, talents, and skills and put those things in a package that allows me to serve other people and benefit from it.
I was stuck. I never thought of my knowledge as something that I could create it as a proprietary system. What is the value of that? For me, it is priceless. And I'm so happy I made the investment because I can now see how my business can be transformed and how I can be transformed as a result of this work. So I cannot thank Mia enough.
Before I met Mia, I was selling my product for very, very low price, and I did not just believe in what I was worth. So I had to change my mindset. I had to change the way I thought. I had to start believing in abundance and expecting it. And so these are the things that I had to learn as Mia mentored us. Now I'm happy to say I'm selling my product for what it's worth.
Before working with Mia, I couldn't sell a $297 product. After working with Mia for about 10 months, I was pitching a $10,000 product to a company.